We all love a happy ending, but let's be honest. The finale of Stranger Things Season 5, while not a disaster, wasted some massive potential. After all that build-up and the incredible atmosphere created in Season 4, the way the Mind Flayer's identity was revealed, and how Vecna was defeated felt a bit too simple and rushed. In this video, we're going to explore some alternative endings that could have turned this show into a perfect masterpiece in television history. To get that final victory, we needed a major sacrifice, something only Will Byers could do. Imagine if at the height of the battle, Will realizes that the only way to pin down the Mind Flayer in the deep and let his friends escape is to consciously connect himself to the hive mind. In that final moment, as Hopper and Murray trigger the bomb, Will sacrifices his life because he's the only one with a deep, living connection to the Upside Down. With the explosion, that world is destroyed and the Mind Flayer isn't necessarily killed, but it's locked away in total darkness forever. This would turn Will from a constant victim into the ultimate hero, a tragic but unforgettable ending. Do you think Will's death was necessary for the finale, or do you prefer that he survived? Why was the ending of Stranger Things so peaceful? It had the potential to be one of the most intense battles in TV history. In the actual ending, we got nearly 45 minutes of goodbyes, but in an ideal version, after dealing with the Upside Down, Eleven shouldn't have just gone back to hugging her friends, she should have gone for revenge. Imagine Elle coming out of the Upside Down and finding out Will is dead. She isn't that scared girl anymore, she is a full-scale weapon of mass destruction. Instead of running, she faces the military head-on, taking down helicopters and finally confronting Dr. K. This was the moment Project Indigo should have been leveled to the ground. It would have allowed Eleven to release all her anger and show exactly how far she'd go for her family. Which do you prefer, a quiet ending or an all-out war? Another big mistake was reducing the Mind Flayer to just a puppet. In an alternative ending, everything shouldn't end with Vecna's death. In fact, Vecna's death should have been what unleashed the Mind Flayer. Without Henry's human will controlling it, the creature is freed and takes over the Hawkins skyline. This is when the kids would realize that by killing Vecna, they actually removed the brakes from the apocalypse. They'd be facing a primal darkness that has no logic, it just wants to destroy. In your opinion, who was the scarier villain, Vecna or the Mind Flayer itself? Why was Kali number 8 completely forgot? Her return in the final season could have really challenged Eleven's growth. Imagine Kali coming back to push Elle toward a darker path of revenge, even putting Hopper in danger. Elle would have to choose between her painful past and the family she chose for herself. A mental battle between the two sisters, ending with Elle having to sacrifice Kali to save Hopper, would have been a powerful peak for her character. Let's be honest, the writers clearly felt they needed a sacrificial lamb for the final season, and Kali was the easiest target. She felt like an entirely disposable character that they only brought back to kill off, just so the rest of the main cast could have their perfect happy ending. It's the ultimate irony. Either they shouldn't have brought her back at all, or they should have actually given her a purpose. Instead, she was just a convenient plot device for the creators to discard without feeling any guilt. Did you have a different ending in mind for her? Do you think Kali had the potential to return as a villain, or should she have stayed in Season 2? One of the biggest mistakes the show made was referring us to a stage play to understand Henry's past. In this alternate ending, the show should have included a 10-minute flashback showing how Henry wandered through Dimension X after being banished by Elle. We should have seen him encounter the Mind Flayer in that mysterious cave, and how touching those dark particles gave him his true power. This would show us exactly how a weak boy became the architect of the Upside Down. Referring the main pillar of the story to a play in London felt like a bit of an insult to the fans. Why do you think the creators didn't show this crucial part of the story in the series itself? Stranger Things has always been about friendship and courage, but these alternative endings could have given those themes much more depth. The original ending was okay, but these versions could have made the show legendary. What do you think? Which of these endings sounds more interesting to you? Will's sacrifice or Eleven's revenge? Did you have a different ending in mind? Let me know in the comments.
Your suffering is almost at an end.